Amidst a growing wave of online censorship, the latest to have his posts blocked by Twitter is top White House health advisor Scott Atlas. Allegedly, he violated Twitter's guidelines by writing a post claiming masks are not effective for stopping the spread of the virus. Twitter called this false information.
On Sunday, Atlas, who joined the White House coronavirus task force in August, wrote, "Masks work? No," followed by a list of U.S. states and countries that have mandated masks, yet still have very large virus outbreaks. He also said the use of masks is not supported by evidence. The post was removed by Twitter later that day. A spokesperson for Twitter told the Associated Press that the tweet violated its policy of sharing false or misleading information about the CCP virus that could lead to harm. Atlas said in an email to the Associated Press that Twitter's action amounted to censorship and that his post was meant to show the general population masks and mask mandates do not work, but said masks should be worn when people can't socially distance. Atlas has come under increased scrutiny by the mainstream media for his views on handling the pandemic, such as criticizing the lockdowns and advocating for the reopening of schools. Several months into the pandemic, whether masks are effective or not is still a contentious issue. The studies and health experts that suggest masks are effective at stopping the spread of the virus are popularized in the media, while the large number of studies that have found masks to be ineffective are widely ignored or discredited. Grace Coulter, NTD News, New York.
And a controversial pathway to immigration has been officially closed. A passport for sale scandal in Cyprus, an island country in southern Europe, put an end to the practice. Chinese tycoons and communist regime officials had used it to migrate to Europe.
The Eastern Mediterranean country Cyprus has announced the suspension of a golden passport scheme to sell citizenship to wealthy investors. According to documents leaked this August called the Cyprus Papers, around 500 Chinese tycoons and CCP officials have obtained the golden passports during 2017 to 2019. That's over 35% of the total number of these passports issued during that period. The program of this EU member country requires a $2.5 million investment into the country in order to gain Cyprus citizenship. People who get a Cyprus passport are granted easy access to all nations of the European Union. Thus, Cyprus can be a transition to other wealthier countries. But the program became questionable because some people without a clean record still managed to get Cyprus citizenship. For example, some of those 500 Chinese were found to have criminal records. That poses a threat to other EU countries. Cyprus's government tweeted last week that the Golden Passport scheme will be abolished from November 1st because the program has some loopholes and has been abused. The decision was made one day after the release of an investigative report from the Arabic news network Al Jazeera. The report reveals that former president of the House of Representatives in Cyprus and a House member were willing to assist high-risk persons with criminal records to obtain a golden passport. A reporter from Al Jazeera posed as a Chinese businessman who had supposedly been found guilty of money laundering. According to Cyprus law, he would not be qualified for the golden passport. However, the Cyprus House member guaranteed to get him one as long as he invested enough in the country. After the report went public, the European Union was shocked and requested the government of Cyprus to investigate the case thoroughly. The European Commission had warned Cyprus in an early 2019 report that the Golden Passport scheme could help organized crime to infiltrate Europe and increase the risk of money laundering, corruption, and tax evasion. As early as 2010, the Chinese Academy of Sciences, or CAS, researched the number of CCP officials that had fled from China. The data revealed the number had reached 18,000 at that time, and they took with them $120 billion. That's an average of over $6.5 million per person. It's thought CCP officials take advantage of schemes such as the Golden Passport and other similar programs to gain citizenship in other countries.
The BBC found paid-for anti-Trump content on TikTok. FTC guidelines say videos must indicate they were paid for.
TikTok has removed posts after a BBC investigation. It found a marketing company called Big Tent Creative paid content creators to make anti-Trump videos. The videos called for Trump to be removed from office. When the BBC flagged the videos, TikTok did take some of them down, but they already had hundreds of thousands of views. Political advertisements aren't allowed on TikTok, and users are supposed to say if they've been paid to make a particular video, but none of the anti-Trump videos disclose that Big Tent paid for them. TikTok says it relies on users to follow US Federal Trade Commission or FTC guidelines. The FTC says creators should always disclose paid partnerships. Some users say video posts look better when TikTok's paid for option is not checked, so they don't like to do it. The Trump administration banned TikTok last month, but a district judge granted an injunction that will last until the election is at least over.
Amazing discoveries about ancient South American cultures continue to be made. Archaeologists recently discovered a never-before-seen figure of a giant cat.
A discovery was made among the famed Nazca lines of southern Peru. The figure of the giant cat was etched into the hillside in the desert.
It was basically made by forming lines or furrows of 12 to 16 inches wide, which outlined the figure, and some parts, such as the eyes and the mouth, were formed by piling up rocks.
Drone footage provides a bird's-eye view of the 121-foot-long figure. Peruvian archaeologists restored the lines to their former glory after 2,000 years of erosion had left them hidden from view.
The figure was in the process of disappearing due to the fact that it is on a hillside and is more than 2,000 years old, and the erosion had been very strong. So this has basically allowed it to remain hidden for many years.
The geoglyphs created by the Nazca and Paracas cultures are striking reminders of Peru's rich pre-Columbian history. No one alive today knows for sure why they were drawn. The Nazca lines were declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994.